So I decoded this last week, and this is the opening scene to iPet-Go 2. This is the pet goat, and what they're showing you here is the buck full moon of this month, July. And the way they're showing it to you is they've got these lights up here. These 6 lights represent the first 6 full moons of 2024. And then the unseen spotlight, which is off camera but is shining on the pet goat, that's the 7th full moon. Okay, so that's the July full moon. And the reason it's shining on the goat is because if you look at that full moon, when it was at its fullest point, it was right here, sort of between Sagittarius and Capricorn, the goat. Okay, so it's like shining on the goat. And in the goat's eyes, you've got these things that look like waves. So that could be signaling bi-coastal mega tsunamis on the United States. It also looks like 9s, so it could be 99, and we know that rapture in simple ordinal equals 99. But there's something else I think that they're showing you astro-symbolically about that moon, okay? And that has to do with this drawing on the wood here, okay? So it looks like a stick figure man with a lizard on a leash, and the lizard saying woof. So let's zoom into that picture. You've got a stick figure man. It looks like he's holding a gun. He's got a hat. He's holding a leash. And on the other end of the leash is what looks to be a lizard. And what I think they're showing us here are 3 constellations: Cetus, Pisces, and Cepheus. Okay, but they're showing it in an extremely stylized way. So it's really heavily encoded behind that stylization. So let me show you how that works. So here in Stellarium, you can see the Cetus constellation. It's like the whale. And then there's the Pisces constellation, which consists of 2 fishes. And then way over here, you've got the Cepheus constellation, which is this man sitting on a chair, and he's got a speared lizard. Okay? And I have a picture here in which I rotated this view so you can see the resemblance to the drawing a little bit better. Okay, so these are those constellations. All right, so you have Cetus and Pisces, and then this is the lizard on the tip of the spear of Cepheus. Okay, so Cepheus, the man sitting in the chair, he would be like right here. This is his head. Okay, so here is a top-bottom comparison view. This is going to make it a lot easier for us to compare the details of what's in Stellarium and what's in this drawing. And like I said, it's highly stylized, and they're not just using constellation lines, they're using a blend of the constellation lines and the constellation art. Okay, so first off, this stick figure man here is Cetus and Pisces. Okay, you can see the head of the stick figure man with like the cap with the lid that matches this upper part of Cetus. Okay, where you see this line coming out, that's the lid, and where it shows like a mouth drawn on this man's face, that line intersects the lid here at the same angle. Okay, that the mouth is approaching the lid line. And then you see his eye here is formed by creating this, what looks like an angle, but the top line is longer than the bottom line. That is not the constellation lines, but the constellation art in this instance. Okay, because you see the top part of his mouth is longer than the bottom part. And then you have him leaning back with his torso and his, I guess his left leg forming this curve here. And then you've got his arm, which is holding the leash right there, and the arm and that curve match perfectly the constellation of Pisces, which has these 2 fish that are attached via a cord to the neck of Cepheus, the whale, or the sea beast. You can see that matches perfectly. Okay, this other leg here that's coming down like this, okay, that's this other part, the bottom part of Cetus. Okay, so like his tail and everything. So it comes down like this, like a curve, and then it has this part sticking out almost like the foot of his right leg. And the rest of it is basically, this leash is just like an imaginary line that goes all the way to the speared lizard that the Cepheus constellation man sitting in a chair is holding on the end of his spear. Okay, it's not like perfectly, straight line like it is here, but that's what they're showing you in a stylized way. So what they're showing you with all this is, if you take a look at the larger picture again, is not only are they showing you the buck full moon of July of this month, but they're also giving you some positional information about that moon, okay? Because that buck full moon, it was the actual full moon in front of Capricorn the goat back on July 21st. But then if you go forward about 7 days, or maybe 6 days, it takes you to July 27th, and that's the point where it crosses that Pisces cord, fish cord there, just like in the picture, this cord right here, okay, crosses the leash or the arm, and at that point it's a half moon, okay, so not completely half here. I think you got to go forward a few more hours to July 28th. Let's see, about 5 in the morning Jerusalem time. Then it becomes a perfect half moon. So yeah, and the reason I mentioned that half moon is because there's another short animated film that shows basically the exact same information. So let me show you that real fast. So this is by the One Academy. You can find this on YouTube. It's called Journey, a CGI animated short film. Okay, so the first thing they show you is there's this old man. He's at a train station, and the train pulls up, and he gets on the train. It says 1901. I'm not sure what that means. And he sits down, and he starts reading this book here. And in this book, it has a newspaper clipping of the moon landing, okay? The Apollo 11 moon landing in 1969. And it talks about the Eagle having landed, okay? Now, that and then it shows the moon, okay? So that actually it shows the full moon right here on this lamppost. Okay, and then they emphasize the full moon by placing it on this lamppost. So what they're showing you here is a connection between a full moon and this event of a man walking on the moon. That event occurred in 1969 on July 21st, which was the exact same date of this month's buck full moon. Okay, so in this scene here, they're showing you that buck full moon. Now later in the video, after he gets off the train, and let's see, he falls into this contraption here, which is like a stairway, and you see they've got a bunch of moon phases here, and the stairway leads up to a door with a mechanism to open it, or some kind of clock mechanism. Let me just play it. And you'll see that the door opens right here on the third quarter moon. Okay, that's what this type of moon is called. It looks like a half moon with the left half lit, okay, with the 50% illumination. That's when this door contraption opens. So at the half moon, or properly called the third quarter moon, the old man goes through the door, and then he goes through a portal. So that's their way of showing you the rapture. So in this CGI animated short film, they're basically showing you, because they already created the connection with the moon, the man walking on the moon, to the July 21st buck full moon. what this film is showing you is the third quarter of this month's moon, okay, this month's buck moon, if you want to call it that. And again, third quarter basically means a moon which is 50% lit, and it's lit on the left side, and that's exactly what the moon is right after it crosses this Pisces rapture fish cord. Okay, it's 50% lit on its left side. So that animated short is showing you the exact same thing that IPG2 opening scene is showing you. Okay, it's showing you the buck full moon. Okay, so that's that unseen light, the seventh moon of 2024. And then they're showing you with that drawing, they're showing you the position of the moon. Okay, so it's sometime when it's in this area of the sky, okay, of Pisces. Okay, so yeah, so what it's basically showing you is whatever their plans are, it's happening very soon, because as we saw, I mean, at this point, currently in Jerusalem, let's see, I don't know, it's right now it's 1:51. I'm on New York time. That would be 8:51. Okay, in Jerusalem. So this is where the moon is now. Okay, it's almost a half moon, and it's past that rapture fish cord. And if you watch my other video, I showed that for other reasons pertaining to the book of Acts, that I believe that the rapture is going to occur when the moon hits 35 degrees of longitude on the ecliptic. So that's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 hours from now. Okay, when it's almost 5 in the morning on the 28th of July in Israel is when it hits 35 degrees, and that's also when the moon is at exactly 50-50 illumination. So it's an exact third quarter moon.